Hello. Today we are honored to have Ms. Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer, a former defense minister of Germany, and also the chairwoman of the Konrad Adenauer Foundation. Welcome and thank you very much for receiving our interview.
Thank you for having me.
Let me start by asking your assessment of the international order and global situation of today. Looking at the war in Ukraine or the situation in the Middle East, the shifting US engagement in the world, and the rise of the global South, it seems to me or to us that the post-war international order based on such principles as the rule of law or the sovereignty of states and the multilateralism is going through a big transformation. From your point of view, how do you assess the current situation of the world and in the Pacific in particular?
Thank you for this very interesting question, and in my regard, I have to say without a doubt, what we are facing right now, it's a shift in the global order, and I think it's right to say that we are going to an era of uncertainty, perhaps to a certain extent in an historical way. But on the other hand, it's not so uncommon that there are new developments, and I think the task at hand is to adapt this situation. What we are facing are a certain kind of cooperation between Russia, between China, between North Korea or countries like Iran on the one hand, and we see aggression, especially right now from Russia coming to Ukraine. It's what we have to deal with in Europe as well. But on the other hand, we see the ambition China has to create and to shape a world order and to create a very powerful stance here in the Indo-Pacific. And I think both subjects are linked together and are linked with the question what is the role the US side is taking on. For me it's important that and it's a question that is especially important for middle powers like Germany or like Japan, that we have to choose if we want to play an active role in shaping this order and to secure our interest, or if we just be objects to others to push us around. I think what we have to do is to be very active and to be very determined to shape this order and to help to stabilize the world order, the multilateralism, and the rule of law as we were used to it in the past decades.
Now that you mentioned China, I'd like to hear a little more about your experience or the Germans' experience. In its relation with China, Europe is shifting from decoupling to de-risking. And yet still, the economic dependence on China remains a key concern for many countries, including Japan and Germany. From Germany's experience so far, what kind of a balanced approach should Europe pursue vis-à-vis China?
So we are living in a connected world, and I think the welfare of the past, it's a result of globalization as well. And so I haven't been convinced that decoupling it's working, and I think it's not in our interest, but de-risking is very important. And for Europeans and especially for Germans, China is a very important but a very difficult partner, because on the one hand we are working together with a very important market for Germany, for German enterprises, and on the other hand we see the ambitions of China, we see security issues. And I think what we have to achieve is a certain kind of sovereignty when it comes to rare earths, minerals, and so on, and a certain kind of sovereignty when it comes to new technologies from the Chinese side as well as from other developments. And so on the long term, to find the right balance to secure our own interest, but to deal with China in a connected world with the best result for, and then what we call the win-win situation for both sides. This is in my opinion, one of the biggest challenges we have to face in German politics and in European politics as well.
I see. You mentioned also about the cooperation between Germany and Japan, or possibly cooperation between Europe and Japan. And then democratic countries face shared challenges in resisting coercion and preserving stabilities. Also, we are facing emerging challenges such as the issues related with cyber, outer space, or the data governance and so forth. What role should Japan and Germany play to cope with such challenges? And how can Europe and Japan deepen cooperation, especially in the Indo-Pacific?
So first of all, I think that Japan taught us a lot about foresight, because 10 years ago you talked about autonomy when it comes to rare earth minerals. You started the initiative for free Indo-Pacific, and you talked about economic security. So I think this is something we can learn from Japan, especially in Germany. Second, Japan and Germany are countries and nations of engineers and of creativity and of innovation. And for me, one of the most important questions and tasks for the future is to be ahead of these new technological developments, especially when it comes to AI. How do we adapt this? How secure we our autonomy? How we secure our nations? And I think to create security by innovations and to create economic growth and strength by innovation. This is something what Japan is very championed in, and as well as Germany in the past. And on this level, I see very good opportunities to cooperate. And on the other hand, I think that we have to create a kind of alliance, a kind of network of like-minded partners all over the world. We share values, we share interests. We are very interested in a functioning multilateralism and rule of law and so on. And I think to create these coalitions, to work closely together on all levels, when it comes to science, when it comes to technology, when it comes to economy, but also when it comes to cooperation in the defense sector. I think this is very important. And right now, Japan is taking a huge step forward when it comes to national strategies, be it on defense level or other issues. And same is for Germany, it's for Europe as well. And I think we can learn a lot from each other. And we should do it because I think we can make a difference in this world.
May I ask your views, what is going on in Indo-Pacific area? and possible collaboration between this area and NATO or Europe?
You see, in the last weeks, I visited Odessa and have an assessment on the situation at the Black Sea. I visited in Germany Kiel and have an assessment on the situation at the Baltic Sea. And it's and given the situation about the Strait of Hormuz, it's all about freedom of navigation. It's all about different kind of warfare and hybrid threats, hybrid warfare. And I think there are a lot of lessons we can learn from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea and to the Indo-Pacific. I think would be very interesting to put these experiences and these lessons learned together and to think about what can we do in an international way and all over the world to secure freedom of navigation, to secure freedom of Indo-Pacific as well as Black Sea, as well as Baltic Sea and the High North, because it's absolutely crucial for a world economy to secure our own interest. And this is something I would focus or be focused on for the future.
Thank you very much for sharing your very insightful opinions.
Thank you so much.